We will not be having Frost this week. So when we last left everyone, I was letting you all know that I appreciate your time, that you all have given us, the exploration of these characters, and looking forward to what we will wreak, the havoc that will ensue, and the decisions, victories, and foibles that we have ahead of us. Does anyone have any questions, suggestions, hypotheses, or corners we need to round up?
I just want to narrow down where everyone is at the beginning of the scene. Most of us are in the center room at the Pisketeers downstairs, except for Zach, who is in flagrante delicto in his own room with the third circle of hell. I mean, with Tony.
Yeah,
but everybody else is in the main room downstairs.
Here is entertaining Mr. Calabalarchi while Senator White, Neophyte McLarian, and Purveyor Mercenary Zahn are engaging in a strategy session for what lay ahead of them. Frost is keeping out this ensemble. Very Toreador-like.
He's arguing with clothes, which Seth is going to give him no end of shit for later in the day.
Seems as if Senator White is already rubbing off on their child.
Well, Seth is immune to the rose.
One of us. Just kidding.
I am immune.
You're way
Everyone is all
cooler.
I'm ready.
Right, no questions?
No. I think, well, at least I am in a place of understanding.
All right. So the scent of the evening is myrrh, dragon's blood, and sage. And it is lit. We got nice
Dude.
smoke going. And with that out of the way, I misspoke last time we had the opportunity of playing. I crossed my wires and dotted my T's and crossed my I's, and all the same, I misspoke and mislabeled our adventures in Gary for our adventures here in the south suburbs of Chicago. We want to apologize about that and let you all know that that wasn't a complete error on my part. But this really is, in all fact, officially in the shadow of the White City. Season 4, finale and epilogue. Chaos, when left alone, tends to multiply. We already have an idea as to where everyone was, and unlike most of our adventures here in the south suburbs of Chicago, in Dalton and Thornton Township, we open our eyes to the characters' lives in media res. They're not running from anything, running towards anything, hanging from any particular cliff, at least not physically. They are, for lack of a better word, decompressing after the stressors of a public assassination, after the stressors of a gerrymandered rezoning of the powers that be inside the south suburbs of Chicago, inside of Thornton Township, inside the village of Dalton. Now, one of the many mottos for the village is a village working together. All hands in, all hands out. The people of the village working towards the goal of the betterment of the village. That idea and that ethos extended in complete totality to the kindred of the city as well, to the kindred of the village as well. They each took active part in having a say as to how the village moved forward in time. How the village did not, unlike its nearest, most metropolitan neighbor to the east, capitulate. How it did not simply go under. How it fought to maintain some semblance of relevance, including declaring itself publicly and openly independent of not only the tower, but the underlying, the rabble as well. Free and divisible from all sects. It has been the largest population of independent clans, of independent nations unto themselves, such as the Hakadah, the family, such as those who choose to neither be Camarilla nor Anarch, those who have chosen their own way forward into the world. They have the largest proliferation of Ravnos and Samich, and it's a melting pot on a microcosm of the world. And because of their status as independent, things like the public spectacle of a few moments ago are possible. Because publicly, they are independent. Publicly, they are too small to notice for most people, but they have always acted as a collar and a border between Chicago and Gary. They have always acted as a border between Chicago and the southern portions of the state. They have always acted as a border, a break line for pernicious clawing evil of the Sword of Cain. They usually were stopped in the suburbs. They were usually noticed in the suburb, and information would spread and gossips would rise. And before you know it, when they made it into the city to stir the trouble they so desperately need, they were routed. They were flouted. That is no longer the case. Chicago has declared war on the Bahari due to their attempts to assassinate high-ranking members of the Chantry, due their insistence on throwing gatherings that attract all sorts and lead to nothing but chaos, due their having co-opted a member of the Hound and brought them to their side with the efforts and attempts to further spread chaos amongst the city government. Bahari are on the run. There's a war declared. And for the first time since its founding, for the first time in any living kindred's knowledge, Dalton doesn't stand alone. Dalton has, at least temporarily, aligned with the rebel, rabble, anarch republic of Riverdale. And while that normally means quite a lot, it doesn't mean as much as it once would, with 3/4 of their senators, of their barons, no longer this side of the grave. So we close in on the bar in the actual Piscateers Lounge, the quiet, out of the way spaces where the powers that be, both visiting and local, often visit and engage in pleasure for pleasure's sake, where they tease their darker impulses, where fortunes are made and futures are decided. Senator White, Muzan, and Seth at the bar.
What in the unholy fuck are we gonna do about this?
Better question. What the fuck can we do?
You know, Muzan, bringing up the difference between what and why and how, it's not always a good thing. Oh, sweet Jesus. We can't kill the fucker because every time we kill him, the demon brings him back.
Yeah, see, sounds like that's not gonna work for at least a year and a day, according to what that fucker said.
The year and a day is a relative fuck you. Because the demon and
Actually,
jackass knows that a year and a day doesn't mean anything unless we can figure a way to stomp him out.
Seth, point of order. That year and a day does mean something because you're entirely misaligning where that other power comes from. For Tremere, I would think you would know. The stars in the eyes, did you not realize those? It's a fey creature. He has made deals with some Tuatha Danann deal-making thing. Get that. Yes.
Yeah, he told
It's
me.
given him the power for exactly a year and a day, and it will come to collect. Which is what he is worried about. He is not worried about us, but it will keep him alive exactly as long as it promised. In return for whatever tasks it has given him.
And if those tasks include eliminating us, the year and a day is meaningless. We need to find a way to break the bond between the demon and that jackass.
Right, so get to it.
But there is also the fact that those sorts of creatures are very much creatures of double speak and promises. They are good to their word to a fault. No more, no less. Lest they be hunted themselves. So the deal he made with us stands. As long as we uphold our end of it. So I understand that you're concerned. And so am I, rightfully, because this is my bar, and as you pointed out many times, we are at the center of this bullshit right now because there is a target pointed on it. With him here. But I think there are other things that might take maybe just a little more precedence, like the fact that half of the senatorial body is gone, and I will now have to step into a further, more serious and more present role as one of the only ones left unliving.
Do we actually have a head count of who survived? Who's
I
still
don't,
around?
which is why I'm saying this. We need to know who survived, what side they're on, whether they're a danger to me or not. Because some of the ones that lived don't like me, remember?
I think
And
we can
here,
assume that
As Zach
Decibel.
steps out and points out, Well, two of them in particular clearly only like themselves.
I think that we can assume that Decibel and Lockney survived. Brigid was pretty good, and Decibel, he has skills in such areas. But
was she pretty good?
I watched the Barons of Riverdale fall like dominoes. As far as I know, Rich was the only one of Riverdale that made it out, and he made it out because he left early.
Actually, no, there is one more that did not show. I remember there being a certain Gangrel Baron, Seferino. He at one point wanted to be a Toreador and spent a lot of time hanging out with us, so I did not see him in present, which means he would not have been part of this whole attack and survived it.
Gangrel not involved in a fight?
Trust me, if Seferino was not here, it was a very strong chance that there was a bigger problem somewhere else that we don't know about. But that is for another day and not right now.
Okay, so, Senator, I only ask, what do you want of us right now? What do you want us to do immediately? Because I'm given to contacting Rich and finding out all I can about the ley line that he's using to gather power and try to disrupt it and mess with him. But if that is against your wishes, I will hold off.
I would prefer that this place be as peaceful as possible for the moment, and we focus on more shoring up our defenses from things coming from the outside attacking us. Chicago, the other senators, what name you. We know he's a problem, but it's a problem we can see. It is like the spider that you can see. It's not the problem, it's the spider that you don't see that's the problem.
Well,
We have to find the spider that we don't see, or the spiders that we don't see.
speaking of spiders, Naomi yet lives. Where do you think she's going to fall in all of this?
Seeing as how her captor is Ash now, and the only other person wishing for her death directly was also Ash. Dia's jaw kind of twitches for a minute. She probably has a way to re-step back into senatorial behavior, or leave entirely. But I think we might be able to turn them to our side and gain, if not favor, at least less enemies. Because we were not going to vote against them as far as they know.
We can't stand against Tony Carbonera. We just can't. The way he is now, the magic's involved.
And what I owe him.
Dia stops and looks at Zach. You what?
Well, it's a work in progress at the moment. But he made me a very, very tempting offer. He gave me a speech about the potential he sees in me, and that got me curious. And in a way, I am already beginning to see the potential he's talking about myself. Which is helping with a lot of personal issues.
Steph crosses himself in the old Catholic style.
So let me get this straight. This asshole fed you a bunch of self-help bullshit, and now you want to help him in return.
Well, I don't know. He needs
All
my
because
help,
of some
so
pep talk?
I don't know if he needs my help, but what I am saying is that I am less inclined to hate him.
Let's just say that is way more than a pep talk that happened, I'm pretty sure. Was on. Zach here, literally has gotten in bed with the enemy.
The fuck are you?
And I will forgive that.
Oh God, why?
Moves on. Bobbleheads aside, people occasionally touch other people.
You're all fucking corpses now. You're not even supposed to have these urges.
Oops.
Honestly, Mizon, if we did not still have these urges, what the fuck do you think this club is? Honestly, that's how I make my money. And keep all those secrets that are so lovely and juicy that we were talking about.
The biggest concern I have is that no matter what we do, Chicago at some point is coming here. And they're not going to be coming 1 or 2 vampires at a time. They're going to come with all of their hounds. They're going to come with the Master Chantry. They're going to come loaded for bear. And if they have to, they will burn this place to the ground trying to get to Tony. And I need to know that we have a plan for that.
Just remind me, these hounds, are they the same ones that were at that disco a while back?
They were the ones that killed all the lupines that attacked Chicago 5 or 10 years ago. Werewolves. These are werewolf hunters. They won't even see us as a speed bump.
Well, shit.
Exactly. That's why I...
Actually, Seth,
Yes.
as somebody who has connections in Chicago, or had them, I still have to check on Erzuli. She might be on the run right now, honestly. Shit. Anyway, the news from Chicago is that the hounds are different hounds than used to be, that they have added to their number, and that they are some new group, which is, while not as powerful as you were just saying, also has done a fair many things. Some of them sound a little strange and overblown, like entirely impossible, but apparently they have saved several members of the council at one point or another, and then killed 2 other members of the council at one point or another recently without being punished for it. And then there was some other thing that happened apparently about a lupine fight.
Yeah,
So,
that's
yes.
what I was talking about. The disco. Aren't
Those
they the
ones,
ones that killed that one lupine there?
Apparently, yes.
So I guess they are still werewolf hunters.
They are still, but not on the same level that Seth is talking about. That was a whole different set of hounds, basically. Those hounds taught these new hounds, I guess. Hounds
Knowing
are
the way
weird.
that gossip works, can you honestly say that that's not the case? there's always some truth to the gossip. And everyone knows that Von Evan, second oldest kindred in all of Alton, in all of Thornton Township, was killed during the Dalton Disco. His edifice, his monument to pleasure, was destroyed. And there is and have been issues with the Lupin over the last few while. So, you all are preparing to potentially stand against kindred who have managed on a multiple of occasions to have done away with Lupines, beings that took your sire from you.
I'm just saying. I'm just thinking. Not even saying. I'm only thinking. We need to get in contact with the Riverdale Barons that survived last night. There's got to be 2 or 3. I know Rich is one. I know Decibel. And I assume Lockney. Because Brigitte would not allow anything to befall her. That's a fair amount of power. We need to make connections outside of our own little pile of bangs and make a plan. Because as much
of which whole outside our little burg, I spoke with Silk earlier.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
And it is actually somewhat good news. She is not going to dissolve our deal based on whatever happened this evening, but I did warn her fairly of what had happened, and she gave her condolences, obviously, but she also said that she would be a neighbor soon, and that her and her child, Ty, would probably be returning to this area, or its neighboring area, and making a go of things. So, we might either have competition in the social realms of gathering information, or an ally, depending on which we attempt to create.
Well, any information is good information, but if what I know about that avenue of things and my understanding of Gary is limited, but my understanding of the Vanguard is a little less limited. They've been sent for a mission, which means they've been sent to make a spearhead, a beachhead, at the area south of the lake. If the tower sets up shop and solidifies in Gary, that means we are surrounded. Except for to the south. And to the south, there really isn't anything. It just gives Chicago one more avenue of ingress to Dalton and Riverdale. If you can convert her and have her give you information, that can help us.
That was the point I was attempting to make, that we might be able to have an ally once Silk gets here, but at the same time, that might be more trouble heading our way, depending on what they decide to do when they get in this direction. Which is why I'm bringing it up, seeing as how we are needing to figure out who we can trust and who we cannot. As far as Decibel goes, I don't know very much about them, save for their reputation and our meeting that night of my ascension. I think that means I will have to take a meeting with them and find out what it is that they plan to do in this situation. Blakeney had already made themselves available to me and wished help with a coming war, but I'm guessing the war that they assumed is coming is nowhere near compared to what they were thinking is coming, especially now with all that has just happened.
I mean, Zahn might know more, but Decibel is a player. He's watching everyone else and looking for who he thinks will end up on top, and he'll hitch his wagon to that. But on the other side, any of the others have already made their decisions. Lockney or the survivors of Riverdale, they've already decided. We just need to get them to tell us what they've decided. I think I can talk to Brigid and get Lockney's side of things. But other than Rich, I've got no contacts in Riverdale.
So, to me, it sounds like we've got a big problem with basically not knowing jack shit about anything going on around us. Right now, I can't exactly provide any more information, but I know plenty of people who can help. And I myself am pretty good at sussing out secrets when needed. So, maybe I can talk to some of my fellow sewer rats and figure out some kind of plan to get some information that we need.
And you never know what you can learn from pillow talk. That is, if you think I would be able to gently coax a few tidbits.
Zach, there is no doubt in your ability to pillow the hell out of that talk. Tony is an idiot. The demon is smart, but the demon isn't always in residence. So I have absolute faith in your ability to work Tony like a violin on a cheap Saturday night.
And if we're really concerned about him being here, I could always invite him over to my place.
I think we always need to know where Tony is. So if he's not here, let us know when you're going to your place.
Oh, I plan on doing that.
Excuse me. Forgive me for intruding. What exactly are we discussing?
Is that Tony?
No, it's a gentleman, roughly 6'2", 6'3", full beard, on the thinner side, but his salt and pepper hair blends perfectly with the darker proportions, the mixed in swirl of black and brown that were clearly once mingled so well that it would be indistinguishable from a dark chocolate and milk chocolate sort of arrangement. Zach, unfortunately, and I only say unfortunately because, well, you know, it's always a little embarrassing when your parents or your parents' parents are in with your friends and associates, and this is exactly what you unfortunately see. Lothair has managed to make his way through the back egresses into the Piscateers. And as far as you well know, that he is Drew's sire, which means he is your sire's sire.
And Zach turns around and has an oh shit look on his face. Like he just got caught doing something he wasn't supposed to be doing.
I suppose that I should have announced myself. Unfortunately, at my age and understanding, there are certain things that just come far more naturally. Such as knowing the correct moment to enter, usually. If I may, how are everyone this evening?
Yeah, feeling a little peckish.
I do so hope that you don't have the thirst of Methuselah's, because that would be very unfortunate for all of us. For those of you who do not know who I am the Reeve Major Domo and Warlord for the Baron Saparino Akinadilachwa.
Seth bows.
Oh, no. We don't have to stand on ceremony. Otherwise, I would have had to use the front door. And doing less than that would make me rude, and I attempt to never be rude as often as I can.
For anyone looking in Dia's direction at the moment, they would probably notice a bit of a slight demeanor change. Normally they're fairly stoic and pulled together, but at the moment they catch sight of Lothair, there's a bit of a flush on their cheeks and they are trying not to smile and won't look at him directly, kind of like, oh my god, he's here type of, situation going on. So, yeah.
I do apologize for my Baron's tardiness, but I see that fate has, as ever, deigned it necessary to shine upon us. He moves closer toward the bar. Senator White, it is always a pleasure to see you. Zach, I am glad that you are whole, and to our other gathered assemblage, it is my most fervent hope that it is a pleasure to be met and to meet you all. I understand that there's quite a few things that we should probably discuss, starting with Baron, my Baron, our Baron, wishing to make contact as things have changed precipitously for us all.
In more ways than one.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, we were just discussing that very thing. Any particular place they would like to meet, or we could host and have him here, if that would work for you.
Well, as this is the opening volley, I believe that this should work quite well for an impromptu gathering, so that you all are aware. While the barons of Riverdale sort ourselves out, we will offer you what assistance that we can. We were currently in the midst of a hunt of sorts, and we're unable to make the meeting. However, that being as it was, there is no reason for our tardiness, and we do apologize for not being there to offer our assistance when it was most timely. As we sort and renegotiate our boundaries and territories, of course, our assistance will be minimized. But officially, we would like to enter into at least a conversation as to where we might end up together.
Indeed, and entirely understandable.
Zach, I understand that you have made an alliance here, and that is good news for your sire. They are currently, at this moment, speaking with Warlord O'Doyle. Both Lavrith and Sasha. There will be a potential joining of their assistance and aid to Baron McEwen.
And I presume they are none too pleased with me at the moment for my recent dealings.
I believe their peevishness with you has not reached the level of attention just yet. Your decisions, of course, are your own, but so that you are aware as to where your familial blood ties have landed, that may be of some note and interest as to how you proceed forward. Offering his hand to Dia, it is unfortunately all too short that I have made this visit. There's not quite enough time, but I do want to thank you for your hospitality and look forward to sharing far more with you later.
She giggles, like, outright giggles.
He smiles and lingers far too many seconds too long and sliding his hand back to himself. I'll see myself out, but you both know how to reach us. Good evening.
Seth gives Dia the archetypical raised eyebrow of the Tremere. Like, what the hell? I heard that.
She's nothing, like, she can see Seth out of her side view, but she's watching until he's gone. Like, when he disappears from sight, she snaps back to herself and catches Seth looking at her. What? I'm not dead. Well, I am dead, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Look,
of course, Senator. You're not dead.
Before you were part of our little coterie here, before the rest of you were part of our coterie here, in my previous Instead, me and Lothair ran into each other in a time of quite a lot of strife for myself. And he was quite helpful, and she actually like flips her hair over her shoulder like, I like pretty things. That should be enough, right?
Well, I'm just glad you didn't pet him while he was here.
Look, Seth, you told me I can't flirt with you anymore, so don't get mad when I flirt with somebody else.
Seth takes a drink of his whiskey and like, okay. All good. But
Don't embarrass me, my friend's mom.
she has a type. Okay. So we have friends in Riverdale. We still have a nuclear bomb in the Pisketeers, and we still have Chicago looking at us. We've got to start making moves.
I think Chicago has its own issues going on at the moment, according to what both Lothair and Silk possibly hinted at. Also, there's the fact that I myself, having spoken to somebody from Chicago, know that they are also having their own issues go on with the whole declaring war on the Bahari situation. So I think it will take them some time to focus their gaze on us, which will give us time, and I agree that we do need a plan, but again, there are more pressing matters.
If you like, you can make a roll at this point. But when you, even though you only glossed over, ran afoul of Lothair, who arranged that assistance?
It was Razuli, if I remember correctly. That's the point that I was just not making, yes.
So, having that foremost on your mind and understanding who Razuli was and is, Lothair just arrived here.
Oh god. She would possibly expect that I would offer her some assistance when she gets here, which rightly so, but I don't know if we can be.
There's a knock on your front door.
Are you thinking of Naomi?
No. Razuli from Chicago.
Oh, none of this leaves a good taste in my mouth, but I follow my senator's dictates.
It is only correct that we would offer help to her as she has helped us when I was in Chicago, so I have to be cordial and welcoming. And Dia turns on their heel and heads up the stairs.
So, where does that leave the rest of us?
I don't know if she didn't exactly tell me what she wanted me to do.
I'm assuming that Tony Carbonara, Calvalaci, whatever, he's still up in Zach's room, ignoring us because he feels fairly invincible. So it's just the group of us down here. Okay. Then I'm going to send a text.
It also occurs to me that Muzan had asked the question about a basement, and they would have stated that no, this is the basement, and anything further than that is non-existent, but that they would have possibly space to let Muzan set up something in the Piscateers.
Reaching the front door. It is with no shock. It is with no surprise that Urzuli is standing there. The only surprise is that their clothing, their ensemble, bear signs of less than polite and gentle wear.
Well, hi there, girl. How are you doing?
Darling, please come in.
I am most appreciative that you are letting me in. Though I said that you were most kind and generous and all of that, all of those many things that he likes to compliment people on.
It's just been a night for us as well, I seem as you. It's strange times.
Several nights, and that no good, dirty son of a bitch that I considered my lover has shown his true colors. And just like all Nosferatu, there's some ugliness in him that I just cannot turn a blind eye to any longer.
No, he didn't.
Yes,
He completely and totally turned his back on me and mine. Since Mama Walde has been missing, it has been absolutely hell.
Wait, I didn't hear that she's missing.
She is missing.
Oh, God.
She got up one evening, said she was going to go meet some people and make sure that we had the support that we needed, and then she disappeared.
I am terribly sorry. Come, and as Dia lets Urzuli pass, and they look outside to see if there's anybody else waiting or anybody else looking in their direction before they lock the door.
Oh no, girl! I did not bring any trouble to your door just yet. As long as no one knows that I'm here, we should be more than fine. Damien.
It's not just that you might have brought somebody. I was worried about the fact that, like I said, several people have shown up tonight out of nowhere, and I'm covering my own. Sorry, it's again been an evening. Please, would you like something to drink? I have just recently gotten my stock room replenished. And
I heard that. I heard that you and our lovely Silk have entered into a partnership. That is always such a good thing when members of our kind get together and manage to make money for each other. I do apologize about the lateness of the hour, but I must ask for a bit of hospitality. Bit of how did the Blue Blood say it? Some sucre.
Interesting wording, what? But of course, darling, you were a lifesaver in Chicago for me, and it is only my honor to, be able to return that favor. So please, come in, make yourself comfortable. I don't have as lovely a closet as you did, but I'm sure we could find you something befitting.
She rests her hand on your forearm. I really
mean this. And then she, all too slowly and all too quickly, wraps her hands and arms around you. The wiry mass of muscle and strength therein is undeniable. She holds you close to herself for a split second. She's far warmer than you would expect. She smells of jasmine, orchid. It's an interesting scented choice. But the warmth is even more telling.
When she takes a step back. It means so much that you're willing to honor my hospitality to you and grant yours to me. I will not forget this, ever.
And again, it is only right that we roses stick together. We are stronger together than we are apart. But I will give you fair warning, the reason for all of the upset in Dalton and Riverdale at the moment has also claimed hospitality and is staying here.
Well, I guess you're just gonna be home to a bunch of troublemakers now, ain't you? Yo, little sweet self. Lead the way. Let me make my entrance. I do forgive the attire, but I promise that I will not let you down. Who all are we partying with?
Well, my cabinet members, such as they are Seth McLean and Zach Volkier of Riverdale, and Frost is around here somewhere. He is our new wisp vampire fledgling. I am there.
You didn't just say Zach Volkier. The Rosie, Drew's
Yes.
Drew's boy.
Yes.
You
But-
are really just filled with troublemakers now, ain't you? And as you all slide down the stairs, Urzuli takes on the statuesque grace that is, unfortunately, far too stereotypical of most Toreador. And as her tall Latina frame slides down the stairs, it is almost impossible to not watch the way that her tread glides along and her head held high, the wild, savage beauty of it all. And then she opens her mouth. Now, ain't you all a bunch of motherfuckers? How y'all doing tonight?
Well, we're still alive. That's good.
That'd make about the only one here if you were.
It has been a rather long night, as I'm sure you have heard.
I did, but you all know Dia is all subtlety and grace. What are you fuckers up to? Me, I've been running for my life. Been trying to find any port in the storm when it occurred to me that I could always trust and count on the nobility and grace of Dia. Now, are you all much the same way as I? Stuck out on the limb, needing her
Kindness to get through the night.
Seth is lighting a cigarette from his plasma lighter. We're more in lines of being the buttress more than looking for one.
But ain't you just so well spoken? What's that I hear in your voice? Is that a bit of Australian?
It's Boston.
Mm-hmm. If that's Boston, I was born to a Cuban goat. But all the same, I won't tell your secrets if you don't tell mine. Now, you motherfuckers are all here helping our lovely Dia. Helping her do what exactly? She said y'all name, but she didn't tell you say what y'all gonna do to help her get out of this situation. Better herself, better her standing.
We just want to keep her alive through all the Chicago and Gary and Dalton bullshit that's about to hit the fan.
And there it is again, that damn word. That's a 4-letter word. You motherfuckers ain't alive. Am I the only one to understand that? You motherfuckers are dead. dead as can be. Y'all just refuse to lay down something and y'all got y'all moving, just like with me. And there's nothing wrong with that as long as we embrace it all together. Understanding that there are things that we could do because we are not alive that we could never do if we didn't accept that fact. Now, me,
First of all, alive is a 5-letter word, not a 4-letter word. Second of all, it's just easier to say than saying unalive, undead. We all
We
know
are what we perceive ourselves to be.
and there we go, Mr. Volkir. That's my point exactly. Now, Dia has given us her grace, her understanding, and we are in her premises, on her domain, enjoying the bright sunshine of her hospitality. So, my idea, and this is just a crazy idea, why don't we just rock the hell out? We got a little bit of night left. We got a nice supply of tasty individuals to associate with. And because I am never one to go to a party alone, she reaches into her purse, her Louis Vuitton, and pulls out £1.5 pound of bills, banded together and sealed in plastic. I mean everything that I say, and I would like to purchase your most middle range and borderline finest talents. And she places it into Dia's hand.
Wow, now.
Just a small token of my appreciation, and hoping that for once, for the second time, that we will enjoy all that we can with each other.
How much I can help with the celebration would depend on your tastes in music.
As long as it has a beat that you can dance to, as long as it is skillfully played and you don't fuck up no notes, I think that we gonna get along just fine.
Excellent. And he has a huge, sincere smile on his face. If I may, Senator, I believe I have something that can help. If you would allow me to go get it.
Dia has made it to the bottom of the stairs and kind of been covering their mouth, trying not to laugh, because the hurricane that is Urzuli has swept in and taken over the space with their energy. And despite all the seriousness that was going on, they can't help but feel at least a little more at home with having somebody that they know and somebody that they've interacted with and trusted at one point and still kind of do, despite where that political line may lie with her being Bahari. It's like a seeing an old friend, basically, and that's what she's focused on. Realizing that Urzuli is very correct, that Dia kind of has their own island of misfit toys and has taken in all the rabble that nobody else wants.
Well, let me get this straight. Half the Senate was just axed tonight, and we're gonna throw a fucking party. Did I miss something?
Now that is the motherfucking spirit. If you cannot sing and dance through your death, then what else are you going to do with your time? You might as well enjoy it while you got it, because we're stealing every second we got. Now you handsome, you look like the sort that you would probably appreciate something a little rougher. And unfortunately, I'm not at home, so I don't have access to those sorts of individuals for you to play around with. But how about we come to an agreement? One motherfucker to another motherfucker, you know what I mean?
I'm listening.
I know a lot of people that seem to have a similar bent to you. So, what say I make introductions with you and those big boys in the city?
so you can get your jollies the way that you enjoy getting your jollies without it ever coming to anybody else's attention. If you smile and enjoy what little bit of time that we're going to be associating to each other without raining on my parade, I promise to make sure that you can march to whatever tune you like going forward as best as I can. You think we got a deal?
Fuck it, yeah, we got a deal.
Excellent.
Muzan actually does attempt to smile with the very sharp teeth that he has.
Oh Lord, with a smile like that, you should do it definitely more often. Now, of course, you do look like you might be a winter, but I'm willing to bet that we can get by with a little bit of spring in your wardrobe. Maybe something not quite all monochromatic. Black is, of course, always stylish, but I guarantee you, with your shoulders and that smile, there's a plethora of things we can get done.
Death lets Muzan get cornered by our guest and recedes back into a favored corner.
Now, hang on now. Don't you go trying to hide. You got just the look that we don't need at a party normally. But being as we take all kinds, being as Dia is taking you under her wing, there's no reason for you to hide in the corner, Mr. Policeman. Or was it a federal agent? What's your background?
Miss Senator Dia took me into her wing for this very reason, because I can recede and be as policey as required.
Now, you can't go getting you a nice fat sheep if you look like a wolf. Now, the people that Dia know and the people that I know, I guarantee you get more bees with honey than spreading shit all over the corners like you're trying to do. Get your ass on over here, grab a drink, and enjoy yourself, because there are people on their way here. I guarantee you, the moment that Dia crank up those lights, turn on the music, everybody who knows what the Pisketeers is going to be headed this direction.
And it will be my job to watch them, not to be them. And he pulls out his flask of whiskey and takes a sip.
Now that's the goddamn spirit. Drink up, motherfuckers. If we don't have tomorrow, it ain't promised. We have tonight. We have this moment. And if you don't enjoy it, what the fuck is you doing with your death? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I take that full letter word back. Y'all don't like that around these parts. Ignore me saying dead.
Oh, you can say it. I've accepted what I was a long time ago. It's just easier for some people to understand the terms when you say the other word.
Now see, you and me, we already made a connection. You just wait. 14 sips along the night, I guarantee you we're gonna be sitting there dancing together. Now, Dia, you were giving me the opportunity to perhaps find something a little more personable while the call is going up, while the bat signal is being lit, and we gonna rock the roof off this motherfucker at least long enough for us to get past and commiserate.
Determine a tune we can dance to.
That's my motherfucker. Your closet, D. May I?
She very gallantly takes Erzuli's hand and puts it on her shoulder and walks them to the closet.
And
You
Dennis
are
gonna
a
get
dog.
his guitar.
You are a dog. Now, I did say that no one came with me and I did not attract any attention, but I guarantee you that if we prove that you are as brave and bold as I know that you are, by making a few calls, getting a few people down here, we can wash the taste of whatever happened to you out of your mouth, and we most assuredly can rinse mine complete of all the betrayals that I have had.
While Beth is dead, I watched her go to ash.
Well, ain't that a motherfucker? That makes things even more reason why we should be drinking. You know, Jennifer, everyone believes that they were nondescript, middle American white child. No. They were the bastard child of the Potawatomi chief and the Spanish explorer that came through these parts.
Yes, I know. We bonded
drinking.
over that fact.
So drinking was in their blood. I think that we should turn this motherfucker out and throw a wake that just might have a chance of even bringing them back from beyond.
Wouldn't that be magic? But yes, that happened, and of course there are others who were lost this evening, so I appreciate your levity in bringing the mood in here up and helping me, because I do not know how the hell to be a leader, and they are all expecting it of me.
Well, then just do the damn thing. If everybody expecting you to be a leader, just lead. You know the difference between a leader and a manager?
No, I can't say I do.
And most managers would not know how to tell the difference either. Managers know how to do things. They can give you the details about what they're doing. Leaders know why you do things. Now, a good manager who happens to be a leader will be able to tell you why and how we're going to get there. A leader is going to paint the picture of where we're going. We're going up that mountain. We're going to deal with whatever's the fuck up there. Manager's going to tell you how many steps it takes to get to that first break, how many steps to get past that first break to the second break, how many steps it takes to get to the dinner. No, fuck all that. You're going to be a leader because you got everybody believing in you, then you just got to do it. The first thing to do is never let anybody get you down where you can't see your way forward, because you got to tell everybody else where y'all going. No matter how you get there, to paint the picture. And I heard that things were getting a little testy. You did reach out to Silk, which is where I was headed after here if you didn't provide your hospitality. So it was not my place, and so I did not. I merely mentioned there may be, if there was an opportunity, there would definitely be a gathering. So why don't you call, text, fly a kite, send some rats out there into the streets, light the bat signal, and get all those people who you are undecided as to whether they're friends or less here. Get them partying. Watch who smiles. Watch who gives themselves over to the spirit of the moment, and decide who you want to keep as friends or who you want to make friends, and lead by painting the picture where you want us to go.
I think tonight is a blue night. Most people like to mourn in either red or white or black. No, I think blue because it matches my eyes. Don't you think blue goes with honey brown so sweetly?
Blue is in the sky. Okay, I will leave you to your dressing, and I will
You could always help, but no, I'm teasing. You don't need to help. You can see all of
light
my
the bat signal. And they
And
walk
while-
away.
Ia and Lucy are talking. Zach comes down with his guitar, and I am about to post a picture of what it looks like. Or at least a general idea of what it looks like. And he has that in one hand and a small amplifier and the plug for it in the other hand.
Well, Zach is setting up his kit, and Dia comes back out of their closet space with her Zulu. Zan, Seth, what's the haps, man? You guys have been hit by a whirlwind, tornado, or Zulu.
It is so much rose that his Tremere almost fucking exploded. And he's missing his trench coat, which still has not come back. He is receded back into a corner and is watching from a darkened space the rest of everyone else. And unless Azuli directly attacks him with happiness or, martial arts, he's going to hide in his little corner.
No, we really should let our other guest know about what's about to come. Shall I do that?
He doesn't need to know.
He'll find out when the noise hits him.
Are you all forgetting the fact that he said he can see the future? So I'm sure he already knows.
Exactly. Is Azuli in this room at the moment?
No. You all are by yourselves for the moment.
This is like technically the first time I'm meeting her, but for some reason that lady seems really familiar, and I don't know why.
She's a rose. That's her power, really. Familiarity on contact.
No, I mean I feel like I've actually seen her somewhere before, and I don't remember where.
I don't know how old she is. I mean, she may have been an actress in a previous life. You may have seen her on a 1970s sitcom.
Alright, someone who knows more about her, tell me about her. Maybe it'll jog my memory. So no one knows anything about her. Great, okay. I'll be stuck with this mystery for the rest of my life.
You just can't be angry about the fact that she went to somebody else for her current identification. Not everybody is a lonely Tremere hiding in a alleyway.
What is a Tremere, except for alleyways persevering?
It's what we do, baby. That's why I'm hiding in the back corner of the bar. I know Azuli's going to be back. I know she's going to bring the heat. And I'm not going to be a part of that, so I'm hiding.
And once Zach's done tuning up, he gently sets his guitar down. Okay, I have the tune. Now I just need a set list. Any suggestions?
Freebird!
Oh, Freebird's a given. You know that.
Dropkick Murphys down in Boston. You got that one?
And he starts writing that stuff down. Anybody else?
We're shipping off to Boston. And as you say, anything else, Dia arrives, having deposited Azuli amidst the heaven of clothing and styles and the touch and allure of being able to change your entirety of your being with what you wear.
Well, I know you're all probably wondering why I'm going along with this and why we would throw a party after such a thing. But they did make a fairly good point to me while we were in the closet. We need to gather those that are left so that we get a head count, one, And 2, we can more easily discern who is willing to work with us, who is on our side, who we should watch out for. It is kind of a fact-finding expedition under the guise of frivolity.
Isn't really what any party is?
And Toreadors excel at that. So I'm going to use my lovely abilities and my lovely cabinet, who have their own abilities, looking at stuff, and then moves on to get us a game plan like you want it.
And of course, since I am to be the performer, if you'll excuse me so I can just go warm up. And he heads off back into his room.
Having dressed in slacks dark enough that you can confuse with black, and a shirt so creamy it looks as if you are drinking vanilla with your eyes, Frost appears.
Yeah,
Tries really hard not to laugh.
pauses
I'm here.
and smirks. Well, don't you look handsome?
Wait, say that again, sorry.
Well, don't you look handsome?
Why, thank you. What should I say? Sorry.
Hey, Frost, hold on to your tits. The roses have taken over.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
We're gonna find out in about 2 seconds.
Oh. Okay.
I swear if I don't start hearing some good rock and roll from this guitar, I'm leaving.
What the fuck?
Muzan, you're paid for. You don't leave for nothing.
And while
I
Zach's
had
in
to
his
point it out.
room, he looks at Tony and says, "Well, I'm sure you already know, but it's about to get a little loud in a few minutes. Any
So you
requests
have to-
as to what I should play?"
So you head to your room to rouse him?
What?
So you head to your room to rouse him?
Oh, he's already asleep? Never mind then. In that case, Zach just tries to come up with a halfway decent set list.
Well, you know, halfway decent. Who's to say?
Well, you're feeding the crowd. You got Muzan with rock and roll, me with my Boston rock. You got Dia
Smooth jazz.
Frost with his smooth jazz. You really can't go wrong.
Okay.
To avoid having to draw it out and take up a whole bunch of detail and issue, basically what Dia does is gets on the phone and starts looking for the numbers for people that she has access to and knows are still around, and kind of just does that game of telephone, like passing, hey, I understand things are crazy right now, but the Pesketeers is a safe place if you wish to come by. And then getting that ball rolling.
Okay, so we got Boston rock, rock in general, jazz. I think I can work with this, maybe.
As you reach out to several people of note, and then their associates, and their associates, and their associates, the question is, so are you sure that the Biscuiteers are safe?
Yeah, are you sure the security is safe? Didn't Nicole just get off by a bunch of fucking dogs?
Are you sure it's gonna be safe? I heard things went down pretty bad. I wasn't there, but
Are you aware that we are under siege? Chicago is beating down our door.
who's gonna be there?
We are gonna be there. Pisketeers is gonna be there.
To foreshorten your allaying the concerns, the fears, and the allegations laid in negative space, would you be so kind as to roll your charisma plus persuasion?
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Did you hear that?
You know, it literally cut up as soon as you said to delay, foreshorten the fears thing, and then it cut out.
Would you be so kind as to roll your charisma plus persuasion? Unless, of course, you'd like to, or could think of another manipulative way to play the people you reach out to allay their concerns and separate.
I'm assuming we are.
Oh, I got subterfuge and seduction. I'm gonna use what I know.
I'm assuming we're going after our target audiences. Like, Seth is going after Tremere, so on and so forth. The hedonists are going after other hedonists. And Muzan is going after whatever sewer crawlers that he can fucking manage. Oh yeah, baby. Eye contact, not Elder Tremere, but Lower Tremere. Low end acolytes and hopefuls.
And while they're doing that, Zach is re-emerging from his room with a set list.
Sweet
He
Jesus.
stuffs it in his pocket, planning to keep it a surprise.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Surprisingly, unlike the normal human reaction, unlike the normal breathing reaction, and instead of hiding in their hermitage, instead of sticking their head in the sand like the proverbial wives' tales about ostriches, instead of saying, nah, I'm good, they come. In an attempt to wash down the memory of what they witnessed, in an attempt to see where the power is coalescing, in an attempt to make some semblance of connection for mutual support and strength, they come. You manage to reach most of the soon-to-be power players in Thornton Township. You all manage to get their attention, to hold their focus, to discern what they most want out of what will be, and they arrive. Harlow, those who've been here before using the tunnels from blocks and miles away, those who have only heard of the place and not actually parted inside using the front door, some telling themselves being knowledgeable and trying to use the side or the back door to get in. Don't want to stand out front with people, but noticing, that's not the way the Pisketeer works. Pisketeers is a place of only the most discerning. True, because while upstairs is in fact a bar, it is the mask. It is the public seeming. It is a club for the fisher folk, people who enjoy fishing,
who enjoy living in the neighborhood. It's for the workaday slob, for the Biscuiteers, harkening back to its original use as a speakeasy during Prohibition and an epicenter for low-level crime. Biscuiteers is actually the space below, the club where anything goes within reason, where pleasure is to be had by all. And they come in droves. And they come here. And they come. And like magic, the gathering is in full. The people from Riverdale, namely Sasha, Jerome, and Darren McGill. There are members of Decibel staff. You notice their earth brown livery. There are people clearly loosely connected with Senator Blakeney and Senator Blakeney herself. There's Naomi.
Holy shit.
And View and Felix.
Oh,
We got ourselves a goddamn audience.
There are power players from near, far, and they have arrived. Every intentions of seeing what is in fact the lay of the land after the culling, after the slaughtering, after the
purge.
Yes. And with that weighing on each and every last one of us, it is 52 after the hour. I'll see you guys back here at 2 minutes after the hour.
But in the offing, are there any questions, suggestions while we wait for Muzan to return?
What was Frost doing?
Frost is finally figuring out how millennial clothing works.
That's probably what's happening. Even though he is a millennial himself.
Yeah, but he's been wearing body
Muzan?
armor since he was 12.
Since he was 12.
And I was asking you, storyteller, in private, if there are certain things that may
Nope.
add to my dice roll when Zach goes to perform.
And I haven't heard from Ben yet. Or Dia. Dia!
That was because y'all kept running your mouth. I had said I was bad.
Yeah, but we like to mess with you, so, you know. During the
Because we're all chaotic neutral here.
You think everyone has managed to make their way up to neutral? Sure.
I was gonna say that, you know.
Oh, I'm definitely chaotic something.
Back to neutral. Because neutral is something he strives for at this point.
So,
Honestly, I'd be okay with being lawful evil.
Yeah, unfortunately, if the Gary contingent ever comes after us, they're going to go after me first.
There is that. So here's the lay of the land currently of those who have managed to gather. There is a blonde, dark-skinned, bluish green-eyed gentleman with an earring in his right ear, dressed in shabby chic, i.e. punk attire for the better part of that, defining what it exactly is. The coat is well made and at one point was tailored, nearly bespoke. It's leather, of course, but it is definitively less Ramones and more the Sex Pistols in regards to its attire. It's not the baggy, off-brand, off-the-rack stuff that most American punks aspire to. It is definitively something that has been tailored and has been built to last. The jeans dark enough that, well, yeah, they are black. Not the overly washed, faded variety, but black enough where if you saw them in a different light or matched with a different coat or jacket, it would be considered slacks. This is how well made the jeans are. Not far from him is a model height woman whose hair is nearly completely white. It is graying into white, but her facial features don't denote any specific age. It could be anywhere from 19 to 60, a well-preserved 60. Not far from them, clearly of a similar contingent, is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, near cherubic woman looking in her mid to late 30s. Moving further still from them are a pair of swimsuit models, one female, one male. The female is, again, equally light eyes, clearly blue, of the sort that looks like the ocean. They are stormy and bright and vibrant and almost crystalline clear. The male, having similar eyes, though of a brighter shade, is a brunette with a wisp of facial hair, clearly just entering into his middle adulthood years, mid to late 20s. And then there are a pair of twins, though they're not actually twins, but they have a similar build, a similar smirk, one being clearly African and the other being clearly Asian. Indescribably so. You're not sure whether she's Nigerian, Egyptian, Ethiopian, or what have you. And her twin, you're not sure whether she's Korean or Japanese or Chinese or Indian. It is just a continental look about them. And then there's Baron McEwen. McLarion knows of her from a distance, having seen her when visiting Regent Rich, who is on her arm with Sasha and Drew in tow, acting as attendants, for lack of a better word. And then there's Senator Blakeney in all of her waifishly platinum blonde glory. On her arm is a woman who looks as if she is danger itself. She's thin and small and lithe, bristling with weapons that are peeking out from various places about her person, but otherwise indiscernible in regards to what she might do. Decibel is attended by a staff of 4, with Cyprian hovering over his left shoulder. Naomi, in tow of no one, here with no one, dressed in a medium red pantsuit with a hood that you wouldn't have expected someone like her to wear it. It is bright and vibrant and mixed with all sorts of colors, but matches the overall general ensemble of her dress. And then View and Felix stand and move between the crowd, talking to themselves for the most part, but greeting and waving at folks as if they are old friends. It is, without a shadow of a doubt, the most currently powerful gathering in all of the southern suburbs, the contiguous suburbs of Chicago. This is the power of Thornton Township on display. There are a few asides, several glances here and there, and McLaren looking pointedly, even though he would never allow himself to put a finger to it or have anyone else put a finger to it, looks and finally spies Bridget hovering near the door.
Seth shamelessly and deliberately moves near Brigid, near the door. Looking his most Irish that he's able.
The space that has been set aside for a stage has always been in this portion since its original founding as a speakeasy. So while Zach having set up their kit, would you be so kind to roll intelligence plus etiquette?
Okay, I'm rolling this?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Intelligence, etiquette. Here goes nothing.
Rock. Die.
Please tell me that's a good thing.
There's always a picture, an engraving, a video, or a recording of gatherings of power. In those old technology recordings, there is a semblance that the music, while centerpiece to the gathering, is not there to attract or detract from the power at play around you. There is a sense that the music is to aid and assist in the negotiations and speakings of those who are gathered. It is an impossibility, even with their sire, that would not be an understanding of Zach in this particular situation. People talk over music, and it's just what it is in the modern day, in the modern age. Unless, of course, they pay money specifically to go to a concert, the music is an accompaniment. And most people are offended by that. Most people are, these kids today don't know what, no, it is not that, nowhere near. It has always been the case. It has always been that music is the accompaniment, unless otherwise denoted. Hell, Abraham Lincoln was shot at a play. The orchestra merely aiding the actors on the stage. He was not the first in the nation during such situations, but the music, as always, accompanied the gathering. And speaking of accompanying the gathering, there's a marked sadness that Muzan has, not for anything specific, but an ineffable something that is clearly missing. And then dancers at his elbow. Pretty good Mitch, huh?
Glad to see you again. How'd your date go?
It could have been better. I survived it, but I'm not sure many other people did. You know what that means for us, though, right?
Do enlighten me.
technically that means you and I should step outside and strap our wrists together with a razor blade or a switchblade or something cool, maybe a mace, and go at each other till one of us submits. Amanda's gone. Olivia's gone. Whispers is gone. Tommy gone. So that leaves you, me.
Wait. We're all that's left? Is that what you're saying?
Mine is those that pass through.
Jesus fuck.
Yeah. So how you want to do this? I'm not really that much of a fighter, and I'm sure you're not that much of a lover. So we can't fuck for it. We can't fight for it. And no offense, but you don't really seem like the sort that can follow orders. So, what's your suggestion?
How do you feel about leading?
I think I'm better at it than you, but I can't force you to follow me.
You're goddamn right you can't.
Yeah, I just said that.
I mean, I don't see too much point of a leader, to be honest, when there's only two of us fucking left in the city.
Exactly. On the surface. But when someone come looking for us sewer rats, when someone that comes looking for us, but one of us gotta stand up and carry that weight. And it's better to decide that amongst ourselves so we can at least support each other and keep anybody that's not worth our time from forcing it. You really want that besuited motherfucker from Chicago to come down here sticking his nose in our business?
No.
Or worse yet, what about Khalid himself? You really want a Muslim assassin coming down here and telling us that we have to now be non-secular? Or, no, they're always worse. So, you, me, whichever one of us wins the coin cost is supported by the other one to keep all the other assholes from coming down here telling us what to fucking do. Or we can trust that someone else will look out for us, keep us in the lifestyle that we have grown accustomed to.
No. We're not gonna trust that. It's gonna be one of us two. Let me tell you this much. I ain't bowing to anyone unless I do it out of respect. And I like you, but I don't know if I like you enough to say I respect you.
Yeah, it's okay. You don't respect yourself. Most people don't. I get it. Most people don't even know what respect really is. So, while we're here, and you ain't putting no gun on me, I ain't putting no gun on you. I don't have a knife on me right now. So, how you want to do this? Are you gonna really step up? You're really gonna be the face of us? You're gonna be the leader of us? You're gonna speak for our benefits? Or you're gonna leave me to hang out to dry?
I'll be honest with you, as much as it interests me to explore that aspect of the world, as it's probably the one thing I haven't tried yet, I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Well, you'll never be ready till you do it.
Here's what we're gonna do. We'll let fate decide. Let's make a bet tonight. You and me. Or we can gamble for it. Winner gets the crown.
I'm listening.
What do you like? Cards? You like dice?
I'm up for a round of blackjack if you are.
There's something absolutely magical to that idea. I'll go find some cards. And he slips away into the crowd, fading as he moves further into the crowd itself. As Dancer heads off, with the sheer wattage in this room, as much as you try to put on negative, flat affect and not be moved, there are certain telltale signs, certain ineffable, indescribable things that your mind is picking up on. Certain instincts and intuitions that flitter through your mind. The foremost being that you are in the midst of the most political power you have seen, and part of you are expecting for Calabalarshi to rise from the room and finish what he started. Because while outside, the wattage is still there. But here, in such a confined space, in such a close proximity, it's harder to ignore the sheer weight these elephants carry and hold with them. Their heat wafts off them in droves. Where are you?
Death is sticking closer for deed.
Yeah, I said Frost. I'm sorry. Did you lose your Frost?
Storyteller asks what you were doing with all the megawatt power around you in the room. There's all that's left of the leadership in Dalton here in the Pescateer's basement.
Hi, God, I'm sorry, my phone was lagging. Sorry. So basically, probably Frost would look for what was? Would look to see if the redhead.
Redhead that is less than 3 feet from Seth.
I believe so. I think that's the one.
Okay, so you make your way toward the door, standing with Seth and Bridget.
Yeah, and I just stand at attention.
Okay. So there's a tricycle of guards by the door, a threesome, if you will. And that's exactly what it feels like. I think there's 2 wheels and then there's another. And speaking of another, Dia with the gathered... What is it that you're seeking to do?
Dia would have made sure that all the new hires were woken, dressed properly, and sent out to mingle amongst the crowd like they would normally do on a work night. That there are being taken account of, like, so I know what's getting drank and what's not still, but open bottles of the good stuff being shared amongst the crowd, whoever wants to drink it, because like I said, I'm trying to ply and loosen them up so that people start showing their true selves, kind of, and let their guard down just a little bit. I myself are not partaking. Playing the hostess, kind of going group to group, but at one point, Dia is going to step to the stage before Zach starts doing the music thing and kind of clears their throat, and I'm probably gonna throw up awe so that everybody looks at me.
And what are you doing on the stage?
She is addressing those that have come to the party, basically. I know tonight has been long for many of you, and we have suffered much loss this evening. But I have asked you all here so that we know we can still stand strong with who is left, and that we will do our best to have each other's back and both see each other in these hard times. It is going to be rough with the things that are coming, but I think the amount of strength and nobility and power in this room that we will be okay. So, for tonight, I wish you all to have a good time. Know that the Pisketeers is going to always be, to best of my ability, a place of safety for those who feel they have nowhere else to go. Nowhere else that is safe. I will do my absolute best. Thank you all for coming, and enjoy your evening. And then she steps down from the stage.
That's my motherfucking friend. Y'all better start motherfucking clapping right now. People, look, and standing there on the steps is Urzuli, and she doesn't stop clapping. She is not only giving you a standing ovation, but between her claps, she is smiling and cheesing and literally whooping up a storm. It doesn't take too long. And then you see Lothar begin to clap. From Lothair to Seferino, and the others begin clapping. And Dancer, from his position by the bar, actually puts both fingers in his mouth and starts whistling.
Seth follows the crowd and claps.
As does Zach, and he adds a few whistles of his own. And as he gets his guitar out from behind his back and in front, and assumes a posture that lets Dia know he's ready to start rocking.
Muzan raises his mug and just says, "Here, here," and starts to down the drink.
I snap, the poem thing.
Dia nods and acknowledges the clapping and kind of like pauses in quick curtsy, and then kind of makes their way to kind of maybe fade a little bit from attention, dropping the awe so that the tension off, message delivered so that they can go back to observing. And then, yeah, they're going to probably continue to make their way to each little groupy group of people they noticed earlier and speak with them more personally, I guess, and let Zach start playing music.
And play he does, opening up with the song that Seth requested.
Here's the question. Does Zach modify the rendition or cover he does? Does he go up tempo? Does he go down tempo? Does he maintain the tempo of the song? Because it in its heart, it is a ode to Boston, but it's also a mid-tempo upbeat song.
He keeps the tempo and the general beat to the best of his ability. He just wants to get at the general feel of the song and coursing through the audience.
Any Boston song is about contrariness. So Seth is quite happy.
All right. The conversations spiral as they tend to do. People are milling and butterflying and enjoying the people they haven't actually had opportunity to speak with. As much as this is a defiance of the trauma that they experienced, and it's a defiance of the natural human wish to lick one's wounds and to mentally deal with the stress and trauma of their evening. There's a somberness that is affected by Zach's playing. So that somberness isn't down in the dumps. It's more of a, well, fuck, that happened. What are we going to do about that? No one comes right out and says it, but it is clear from the conversations that is the overarching theme of where everyone is thinking. So let's move counter alphabetical order. Zach, seeing the crowd in the state that they are in, and a few head nods, a few toe taps, but for the most part, they're milling and speaking to themselves. Is there anything that Zach is attempting to do?
Well, while Zach is playing, he'll try to listen in and see if he can pick out anything from the flow of conversation.
That murmur and talking and the attempts to be as respectful to the artist playing as possible. So this sort of room sound that Zach will be bombarded with, not this conversation tone, which radio. In the street screaming, with the conversation tones of someone mildly deferring to the street. Seth?
The stuff is with Brigid and
Frost.
and is moving her away from the center of happenings and is trying to get information about where her senator is on everything that's going on.
Oh, McLaren, you wouldn't be trying to pump me, would you? It's not exactly nice. You didn't bring any gift. You didn't bring any flowers. Not that I like flowers at all. And you didn't bring any chocolate. What is it that you're actually after?
You know what I'm after. You know what I'm doing. Don't pretend. And let's be honest, there is no chance I was able to find flowers between the last time we talked and this time we talked, despite the fact that I looked for them.
Are you saying that it's easier to grab a handful of power than it is to grab a bit of fluff to impress someone? Or do you think that I'd be more impressed by your ability to gather such a strong bit of power?
I was trying to find a bit of fluff for you, but I couldn't find it. I didn't have the time. My senator and my Nosferatu, my Warlock, were keeping me too busy. So you'll just have to deal with me.
So you are serving your senator and your Orlok friend? Oh, that's a very big multitask, considering that there's such disparate ends of the spectrum. Take it that all my jests aside, that you're actually after something, and what might that be?
I want to know where your boss stands so I can tell my boss.
She's there on the other side of the room talking to that black feller.
No, it's my senator. I know where she stands, but I need to know where your senator stands, the Lockney.
I just tell you, she's standing there talking to the black feller. But in regards to whether she wants to take your senator's head or take anyone else's head here, she's prone to her own counsel. I can just merely tell you that she has no intentions of harming anyone just yet. Maybe. No,
Sure.
definitely not. Not here. No. Though Latifah there. Now, Latifah is, well, she's one of the prime tree, one of the prime tree children of Blakeney. She's one of the enforcers. She's what the Baron is. The Baron's what they call a warlord, someone who leads or drums up service or that sort of thing. She'd technically be, if there was such a position amongst the rabble that she typically associates with, she'd be, if not the prince, but more the seneschal, if you get my meaning.
I get your meaning, but you said 17 things in 4 minutes.
Well, then you'll have to definitely listen faster.
You need to speak a bit plainer, is what I'm thinking, is you're making up shit.
I spoke plainly. You didn't want to take it. Yeah, I told her Miss Senator was standing. I told you she's standing there. Well, she was there with the black fella. Then it seems now that she's found her way over to... do you know who that particular Rose is? I hear that he and his blue-blooded girlfriend or something of the lines of information brokers in Riverdale.
The bottom line is, the whole thing of it is that the Bahari have taken up residence in the Pesketeers, and we're not liking it, but we can't do anything about it because of the magics involved. But if we can figure out a way around the magics, where you and your senator stand.
So you already know that Erzilia is the dark mother of this particular garden. So if you already know that she's Bahari and you already have an agreement with her, why are you asking after what we're going to do?
No.
You bound us to them without even asking? But as Blakeney is a relatively honourable sort, she would honour her agreement, of course, whether she disagrees with your particular decision or not. But as there's no standing actual fine printed agreement, it would be as it would be. Just yet.
So, what you're saying is, because there is a tentative agreement between my senator and this particular demon.
She may be tall, but I wouldn't call Arzuli a demon. And the Bahari aren't that bad overall. They just want to do what they want to do, just like everyone else. And if you have the Grand Dame of the Bahari within earshot, I would do my absolute best to not call her a demon.
They're a demon. I'll not break with reality and say something else. Tony Carbonara, or Carolucci, or whatever the hell his name is, he's a Tremere. But the thing that is making the deal with everyone else, that's a demon. And
what in all of God's blazes are you actually talking about? You're saying that the fellow who killed all of the others is in league with Arzuli, and you're saying that they're both Bahari, but one is Tremere. That doesn't make much sense.
The man, the vampire, the Fang, the Uncharted, whatever you want to fucking call him, that's Tony. Okay? Tony Carbonara. That's what I've been calling him. And he is not what killed Geneva and what killed Mitchell and what killed fuck all of the Riverdale Barons and the Dalton Senators. They're not the same person. They're not even remotely the same person. They occupied the same body, and that is all. Tony is a vampire. The other thing, God knows what it is right now, is a daemon. And I want to know where your master stands on that daemon. We all stand against Tony. That's given. But the demon, the one that can kill us all, seemingly with a thought, that's where I want to know where she stands.
You're a bit daft. You probably need to drink a bit more so that your stones in your head stop rattling against each other. There's no way to stand anywhere except for gauging what's going to happen from that particular boggin. And once it is decided where and if there's an opening, it would be decided on whether we take it or not. Now, from one good upstanding person to another, I like you, McLaren, I always have. I'd like you more if you go find me one beautiful bit of fluff, something bright, and expressing how you feel. When you grab that and you bring it back, I will most assuredly show you exactly how I feel about you.
And as she says that, we shift our gaze to Muzan, who Dancer has finally made his way back. Would you be so kind as to roll 2D for me, please?
2 dice?
Yep.
Together or separately?
You can roll them together.
Together it shall be.
So you ended up with a 9. You pulled a 1 and an 8. Would you double down? Would you looking at your 8? What would you do if you pulled that in blackjack?
Yeah, I'd go for it.
So you take a hit, or would you double down?
Bless you.
Thanks.
1 second. I'd take a hit.
One more D10.
That'd be a 7.
Yep. Giving you a grand total of 16. Now, would you stay or would you hit again?
I'll take the hit.
On a 16 to get to 21? You think luck is on your side? You're a very brave man. Make it happen.
Wait a minute. Holy shit. plus 5.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Wait, they both got 21?
Yep.
Wait, what?
Up.
So it comes down to one pull. High card wins. And literally, Dan's just looking at the fact that both of you are sitting at 21. Are you fucking serious? Why can't I get anything easy? You see this shit, right?
I wanted fate to decide. Fate's been indecisive today, apparently.
All right, so how do you want to play this? High card or closest to 21?
High card. Let's do it. You ready?
Sure, why not? What's the worst can happen?
3, 2, 1.
And with a conjoined pull, a simultaneous pull, Muzan ends up with a 4, and Dancer ends up with a 2. Meaning that by a simple luck of the draw, by a simple pull, fate has decided that Muzan should be the face and de facto leader of the Nosferatu in Thornton Township.
This is not how I expected tonight to go.
Who are you telling? I stacked the deck that you should have ended up with this fucking 4, and I was supposed to end up with that next 10. Fucking hell. I guess it was meant to be.
Apparently so. Well then, lackey. Clean up the cards.
Oh, that's
I'm just
easy
messing
enough.
with you.
That's easy enough to do, but you know it's gonna take more than that, right?
Yeah, I know.
You gotta reach out to the cousins in Gary. You gotta reach out to the cousins down in Indianapolis, and unfortunately, you gotta reach out to that fucking asshole said up in Chicago too. And of course, you got other buddies up there.
Nah, so I think you're gonna have to make some introductions for me.
That can't go wrong at all. A violent misanthrope like yourself. Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'll put out the word and we'll meet at the tower. the water tower.
Sounds good.
Alright, boss man. I'm gonna go and tell the senator that she ain't the only one that's swinging a big dick these days. I'll let her know. Maybe she'll actually look out for you.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to have to change jobs all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's the
But-
same job. So
but
for now,
such
you gotta
benefits.
look out for me.
Yeah. I suppose that makes it easy to manage since there's only one other person left to manage.
Yeah, I've been meaning to tell you about that. That ain't exactly the truth. But we'll talk about that later. You got things to do. You got to hobnob with these powerful individuals and kiss the little ass, shake the hands, and how did that go? You gotta shake the baby and kiss the hands. Anyway, you'll figure it out.
Yeah,
And
I'm
is he-
gonna have to ask Thea for some advice.
And as he moves back into the crowd, not heading anywhere near Dia just yet, but heads back into the crowd, giving you space and time to think on your own. Frost, you have never heard something so strangely alluring as the combination of Zach's playing and Seth's accent. In all the years that you've worked together, you've heard a Boston accent, you've heard a borderline New York accent. You've never heard that.
Frost's gonna mutter under his voice. Seth's trying to get some tail?
If you look there on the whiteboard, you see right over Lothair is a gentleman who goes by the name of Seferino. First name is Seferino. People who know him call him several other different things, but Seferino will do. His last name is Akina de la Chufu. He comes closer. He looks you up and down. Flips his hands out of his pocket and rolls his shoulders, looking from your toes to your brow. Little one, how many winners?
Come again?
Little one, that be you. How many winners?
How many winners?
Are you hard of hearing?
Sorry, you're like really glitchy. What is that? Like staticky.
Are you hard of hearing? Can you understand what I'm saying?
I ain't hard of hearing. I can understand you.
So how many winners?
What, like how many wins I've had in my life? What you asking you?
Well, you smell like all the outdoors. And there's a sense, a preternatural air of wildness about you. The fact that your eyes keep reflecting the light. The fact that you're sniffing the crowd and looking after who would be the easiest to chase lets me know that you're not one of these effete. So the question of how many winters is how we present ourselves to each
other? How many winters have you survived? How many winters have you given in to the chase? How many winters have you fought your beast? How many winters dead are you?
Dead? None. Alive? About 35 or more.
Yeah, you weren't really alive. So this is your first. You haven't even had a full year. Yeah, well, I guess we don't really have anything to talk about. Look for me if you survive the rest of the year. We'll talk then. But right now, yeah.
So I take it you're the same bloodline as me? A little bit older and a little bit wiser?
A lot. Both accounts. And no, fuck a bloodline. You have the potential to become part of the most noble clan there is. The most direct and honest clan there is. However, you need to survive a year. A minimum of a year. On your own, and I doubt that your soft friends will let that happen. But if you do, and if they don't get too much in the way of you learning the ropes of things, look me up. Maybe we can talk.
Do I have a name to look up?
Look me in my face. What other blonde, blue-eyed, dark-skinned Latino do you think you'll find within 75, maybe 1,000 miles from here?
Just because your face is different than most of the folk around here, that still should have a name that I get to call you by.
Names are for friends, or at least respectful jackasses, and you're neither one right now. You're actually borderline getting on my fucking nerve by simply breathing the same air as I do. Things aren't that difficult. Things aren't that hard. A simple fact that you can't even fathom a simple way of looking up a Baron. I hope desperately that you don't survive your first year. I really don't think that you'll be worth the conversation later. I don't think that you have what it takes because you're unwilling to accept the simple fact of our society. I don't think you have what it takes. I don't think that you have the ability to survive by yourself, dead, long enough for you to matter. I could be wrong, but only you can prove that. And when you do, and if you do, fucking look me up. If you want to grasp on how we do things. You can stay deaf, dumb, and blind for all I fucking care.
All right, year's time, I'll look you up. If you're still kicking.
That was almost cute. Luckily, I already despise you, so it's not.
Oh, you'll come to like me, I bet. Mr. Baron. He does a little bow. As he is full of himself.
He pokes you in the chest when you move to bow. No. We don't piss and shit on each other. First things first. Second things first. You don't have the right, you don't have earned the opportunity to attempt to disrespect me. This is your one pass because I know you're too young and too stupid to understand how this fucking works. I approached you with an opportunity for you to learn more. I wasted time for you to have the opportunity to learn more. You piss on my leg, I let you continue trying to pretend to breathe. You go further than that. It is my responsibility
to ensure you know painfully the error of your ways.
Right? There's someone I can talk to that can teach me the ways besides besides my coterie members, for they ain't like you, I should say. I would not say us, for we aren't the same.
They're the way things are done. And the first way things are done is for you to survive long enough to meet one of us. You lucked out in this particular gathering that there is another one of us. We're not that many. We don't really get along with the tower. We don't really get along with much of anybody else, because everybody wants to piss and moan and be disrespectful little shit. And that usually ends up with us having to eviscerate some fool for them having an inability to understand where they are in the world and what they've actually come across. So we stay on the move. Survive. Learn. And then we'll consider things. Have a nice night.
You too.
You turn to my bro. And as Dia spots the tense moment that Frost shares, who is Dia speaking with?
She probably would have been about to head over towards Severino when that whole thing transpired, and paused to let Frost kind of feel his way through it on his own, because she is aware of some gangrel traditions, but not many. So, watching how that played out, and if it had gotten worse, she probably would have stepped in and reminded them both that this was supposed to be them not turning against each other, more working together. But seeing as how they parted ways without a swing at each other, she just kind of watches and then circles around and catches Seth herself.
Getting close enough to Severino's, he moves and leaves Frost to the company of Rigid and Seth. He doesn't break stride as he's heading toward the bar. Senator.
Dear, please. I do apologize for my childhood. I see that they have rubbed you quite the wrong way.
No, actually, it's probably one of the best pups that I've seen in a while. But pups are just like pigeons.
You're teaching them to fly and they shit all over you.
Yes, indeed. He was a bit of trouble before he was turned, and it's been a fair bit since. Though he has his uses. I understand how you do things somewhat, and I did hear somewhat of how things are done by your packmates. But if there is some way that he could get a bit of help or training, I would appreciate it. I am completely clueless as to how this all goes, as far as both raising a child and your particular way of doing things.
Claire says you're a decent person.
Let's
You
try
don't
to
say that about many of your kind. Yeah, my warlord, my reeve. You don't say that about many of your kind. So, I'm thinking this is more than just Nero playing the fiddle as the city clerk.
Yes. Unfortunately, it has been non-stop bullshit hitting the fan since I got back from something I was sent to do a few months ago. And first there was the death of Nicole, the pine caused, and then there was the drying up of the blood trade, and then this whole debacle this evening.
So, you like shit.
Not particularly. I'd rather not have to deal with this much of it.
So why don't
This is
you
like
dodge?
Stygian stables.
So why don't you dodge? Why don't you turn off the fan?
I'm attempting to do this now.
A little late to turn off the fan when she already covered it in shit.
But then, as you pointed out, to avoid keep covering one should turn off the fan.
Yeah, it should have already happened. But that is no judgment on your actions, speed, or intentions. Merely pointing out the obvious. Maybe give us a ground or framework to work from. You've got a pup that you claim to be your childer. You've got a dead sire. And you've got a demolished senate. You also have promises from several barons before they were taken off the face of the earth, pledging an alliance, a joining of strength. So if things are to be believed and you manage to get attacked by a she, we're bound by our word. So I guess even though I wasn't there, but a part of the Republic, you have my word too, that we are joined in an alliance. And you have Urzuli, which we all know is the secret greatest gardener in the Chicagoland area. The reason why Von Evan was no longer in existence. And she's thrown her support behind you, which leads me to believe you've thrown your alliance-ship towards her. So, what? We're getting ready to fight Chicago?
The entity that killed most of the barony and most of the senate tonight says that yes, we are going to war with Chicago.
Seems like a dumb idea, but people have
Agreed.
died for less.
The way I see it, though, is that we would not win by numbers, obviously. We are very much outnumbered. But war is not always a matter of numbers.
No, it's
Correct.
always a matter of numbers.
Numbers and knowledge determine who wins.
Well then, that's my point. We don't have the numbers, but as you pointed out, head nodding towards Urzuli, we have the knowledge. And can get more fairly easily.
Don't take this the wrong way.
But I've never known a member of your clan to be honest about anything except for what they dislike.
Why are you trying to start now?
Because I have spent most of my time being dead, hiding what I am. Being that perfect little bimbo that nobody ever looks second at and expects nothing from but frivolity and fun.
He waves at the party happening around you guys now. So nothing's changed.
No, very much has changed.
You do know I knew Nicole, right?
Yes. It's
You
how
do
we
know-
met, remember?
You do know that that's the only thing that's changed for you. Your hand is on the wheel. You were used as a distraction to gather information. You were used for your ability to mix and mingle, to attract attention, to guide taste. And here you are doing the same damn thing. Do you have the same end? Find everybody weaknesses so that you can use it against them without ever having to show your fangs in public. Get everyone believing that you're a saint so that when bad things happen at your behest, no one ever points a finger in your direction.
No. People have already seen my fangs this evening. Multiple people.
You know I like Gabriella. And I know what you and Nicole did at Geneva's behest to make sure that Gabriella no longer existed. I don't believe in beating around the bush or hiding my intentions. Just so that we're clear as to where I personally stand. Lothar speaks highly of you. Everybody else can look on you with fond eyes and be swept along in your illusion. But I know what you and Nicole and Amanda did to Gabriella. And while I don't hold you individually responsible, because we all know that Geneva was pulling strings, I wouldn't enter into anything with you blind or deaf or dumb. So tell me what you really want to do. I'll tell you what I really want to do. And if we can, we'll meet in the middle.
I want exactly what I said I want. I stood up there.
Excellent. So you wanted to build your own little Elysium that we will enforce. I can work with that, provided I get a chance to enjoy it somewhere down the line.
I have no problem with that.
Excellent. And I'll keep my confidence and my peace, and I won't mention Gabriella nor her child or Elias anymore. Unless, of course, you force me to. And speaking of force, as everyone mixes and mingles and Zach keeps the tempo moving and people talking, there is the slow dawning that Dia is not the only person moving amongst the crowd. Dia is not the only person pushing for confidence. Dia is not the only one working the crowd. And as that dawns on everyone present, especially Zach being a member of the Sensates, we draw to a close on this episode, on this season, and look forward to what the coterie will wreak in the coming weeks and coming months. Good night, everybody. Thank you so very much.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Hey, old man.
What?